'cause we love our love in different sizes. I love her body, especially the lies. Time take its toll, but not on the eyes. Promise me this, take me tonight.
Hello and welcome to this week's Perfect 10 show, where we chat about what's trending in sport. We've got a Manchester Derby special for you today, and of course, we give you the chance to win £10,000. Thank you, Pete. You're always the best at that. I'll introduce you to the panel. Let's start off with Harris. Harris, you're back after your absence last week. A few gigs you've been to recently.
Yeah, I saw the Pixies last week, and I'm going to see a band called Car Seat Headrest tonight. I'm sure you've heard of them. You're a big fan, I hear.
Yeah, you mention them every day to me.
And I'm going to see New Order on Friday, which I'm very excited about. Bit fanboying over that.
Very good.
Can you name any New Order songs?
Bit of a music snob. World Emotion was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, give you that. I'll give you that.
Pete, you went to the City game v Southampton, I think, this weekend. That was not bad, was it?
Yeah, it's standard. We get used to it now. Last few years, it just seems to be every other week.
Not bad at all.
Can't complain.
Heading to the title. Hang on, news just in. We've actually received footage of Pete at the City game, I think. Producer Charlie.
Yeah, you can't really see from there, but...
What a mess.
There's a few beers deep at that point.
Wow, how many beers in were you there?
He didn't actually make it in on Monday either. He was ill, apparently.
No, I have been ill. Yeah, I've been off for a few days.
Let's go back to the United stand and introduce you to Joe, presenter on XS Manchester, of course, and full-time Devil Phoning. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. I'm Natalie, sorry as well. But yeah, you've always gently me down. Yeah, love to be here. I've gone for the cappuccino approach because I need to pick me up. But cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. And finally, our special guest is, of course, Natalie Pike from City Square, live presenter and director of the Wellspring charity. You're a special guest as well, Joe, but you know.
A special guest. I'm not that special, am I?
Yeah, I've met you too many times to be special.
We're going to have our first ever walk-off.
So yeah, there's our special guest for today. So come on, give him a bit of a welcome.
We love a clap on this show.
So, of course, today it is a Manchester Derby special. We've got two City fans. We've got two United fans dressed as lumberjacks for some reason. They don't own any United shirts.
I bought this here, but it doesn't fit me anymore, to be fair. But this is a little wee.
Not bad at all. We are actually giving away a brand new Man United and Man City shirt today. And to be in with a chance of winning the new shirt, all you have to do is answer the question in the comments below. Who scored the last goal in a Manchester Derby? Was it A, Chris Smalling, or B, Phil Jones? We'll reveal that answer at the end of the show. Right, Pete, could you tell us a bit? Me and you went down to Kick-Air, didn't we, last week?
Yeah, so it's like this indoor sort of parkour.
We bounced around.
We had a good bounce around, me and you. Not for the first time. We'll keep that to another show.
Christmas.
Yeah, and we had a challenge. It was my idea to have the challenge between us, and obviously I lost. And there's a forfeit.
Let's have a look at the clip, by the way, of what happened when we went down.
So yeah, as you can see, the stomach's hanging out still a bit. Still,
my arse is hanging out.
It's the winter time, you know. It's the winter time. It's fine, but I lost. So
you wanted me to come up with a few forfeits.
I didn't. That's why we had to come up with one forfeit.
So as you can see on the table here, I came up with 3 forfeits. You only have to do one of them. The first forfeit, which I know will interest you, is that you have to wear a Manchester United shirt for the rest of this show.
Don't do it.
That must be terrifying. With that staring you in the face.
No. The second one is this delicious, delectable hot sauce.
It has literally like a chemical sign on it.
It's called Da Bomb, Beyond Insanity. It is very hot.
It smells horrific.
I have actually tried that in the office, and I know like it's not fun.
So you can either do a teaspoon of that or this lovely shot of absinthe. And I know you're feeling a bit under the weather, so it really does depend on
It is
what
actually
we got.
only 68%.
Only, yeah.
It's quite strong. So it's completely your choice. Won't be offended either way. Do you want the Man United shirt, the chili shot?
Oh God, don't do it!
I know, it's gone through me.
Oh!
What are you doing? Fair play
Well
to
done,
you.
Pete. Let's get rid of that. Let's get this out of the way then.
Champion!
Got to show how come on
Really?
He's going to start slurring his words about
That does stink. Right, I think you might be
I think I'll be all right after that.
Yes, good. That's what you get for losing to me. It's quite an embarrassment as it is, but there we go.
After that.
Right, let's get into the special guest drunken stories. Of course, we do buy you a drink here on the Sportsman's Perfect 10 show. Natalie, you're up first. Could you give us your best drunken story?
Oh, do you know what? I'm a married mum, so I feel like I need to try and be respectable. But it's worth saying that I was an 1830s rep when I was 18 in Ibiza, so you can imagine there was a lot of stories there. A lot of them involved absinthe. Were you?
No.
And then I modelled full-time in London, and we used to get paid to go to nightclubs.
So did I.
Like 3 or 4 times a week, we'd be paid to go to nightclubs and just get free drinks. So you can imagine I have a lot of stories. I'm still trying to think of one that's fairly respectable. There was a night when we got paid to go to a club in Cardiff, and we were in the VIP room. This is me and my model friends, and also in the VIP room was the Welsh rugby team. Wow. And apparently,
That is his dream night out.
And according to the venue's owners, we drunk more and were more rowdy than the Welsh rugby team.
That's not
Not a bad one. Or there was a Saturday night out in Manchester.
Great night out.
Just gone. Saturday night just gone.
Recent.
And recent. I really shouldn't tell us because my husband's really embarrassed about me. It's the first time I've drunk since I had my son who's 1. The first time I went out on a proper night out. And my friend, we were on a balcony in a place in Manchester, and my friend was teasing her husband, and she threw a cork at him, and it went over the side of he ducked. It went over the side of the balcony, hit someone in the face. That woman ran upstairs, confronted my friend. It was my other friend's birthday, so me, having had a few drinks, thinking I'm really tough, went over, got in the middle of them, tried to break it up, got annoyed by this woman and shouted at the top of my voice. I honestly thought, I don't know where it came from. I'm not even a big Arctic Monkeys fan, but I shouted, "Do one Mardy bum," at the top of my voice, and sent her on her way.
That is outstanding. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Top that.
Yeah.
Well,
Harris
right,
is...
Yeah.
Oh, God, Joe.
There's a couple here that I can't tell you, but there was this point in my life between the ages of, let's not get emotional, between the ages of 20 and 21 where something was happening to my body I didn't quite know. Not that. That happened long before that. I was, at the end of the night, experiencing something that, I don't want to go into too much detail here.
Is anyone else worried?
Well, if I told you that I am gluten-free, so I can't have any beer or any pasta or anything good, really. Yeah. I didn't know I was gluten-free. So you imagine 20 years old, you're drinking your lagers, you having your pizza on the night out. It only ended one way. There was a lot of jeans bought, there was a lot of underwear bought, and there was a lot of friends that aren't my friends anymore. Taxis I had to pay fines for, and so that's, I'm going to leave the imagination there. A series of unfortunate events, but then I went, enough is enough. One day when a builder found my phone next to a pair of jeans, I said, enough is enough. And I had to go and get checked out, and they said, actually, you're allergic to the thing you love the most, which is obviously a pint of lager. You can no longer drink it.
What about
absinthe?
Can you drink that?
Oh yeah, I love that. But so that was my drunkest stories for a long period of time in my life. Every night ended the same way. I never quite know why, but then I did.
Harris, your nights usually end in a messy way too, don't they?
Yeah, probably messier than that. I won't go into that.
Well, I don't think so.
Pretty
show you some pictures.
What a start to the show, that is not bad. Absolute smut. Right, let's jump into our special guest chats and get to know our special guests a bit better today. Natalie, you're in the spotlight first again. First of all, do you want to tell us about how you became a City fan and kind of your earliest memory of the club?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Scotland. I was born in Edinburgh. My mum and dad split up when I was 4 or 5, and then my mum met a man who was from Manchester, and we moved to Manchester when I was 10, and he was a City fan, and we moved to Wythenshawe, which is a real City area, Benchill to be specific. Yeah. And he took me and my brother to City as kind of like a bonding experience. So I was 10, so that was 25 years ago. And I got my first season ticket when I was 15. It was £150, and I saved up my pocket money all year to get that. And I've had a season ticket ever since. So I've had a season ticket 21 years now.
That is dedication. Harris, have you ever had a season ticket?
I don't, unfortunately, no.
Can't get
No, I can't afford it. I won't be able to get one.
You keep spending all your money on seeing rubbish gigs.
If my boss is watching this show, gives me a bit more, I can get that season ticket. That's all I'm saying.
Natalie, how did you get started working with City, and what's your one best memory working
How
with
can
the club?
I get started? 'Cause I've had enough here.
I was just really lucky, so I used to I used to model full time, and I did the kit for City a few times. Just modelling the actual kit, and then when they started doing City Square, do you know what City Square is?
It's the kind of channel
It's
outside
like
the ground,
pre-show
isn't it?
entertainment outside the ground.
Yeah, so we have an outside stage, and we have outside bars and outside food areas, and we do like a 2-hour entertainment show before every game. And they were doing that with 2 men, and they decided that they wanted to bring a woman into it, and they knew me from when I modelled for them. And I literally was sat at my desk one day, and I got an email saying, "Do you want to present for Man City?" And I was like, yes, yeah. And I've been there 8 seasons now, and in that time, obviously we've won the league 3 times, and I have presented the Champions League parade 3 times. So they're probably my best. 3 times. 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah. So that's probably my best moment, like presenting the Champions parade in front of, 1 million people in Manchester.
That's pretty impressive.
1 million? Yeah, my art.
I was waiting for that. I set him up for that.
We do tweets for a living.
On to a more serious topic. Could you just tell us a bit about the work you do with Wellspring?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So I'm the director of a small homeless charity in Stockport. They're called the Wellspring, and it is an incredible place that helps anybody that is homeless, disadvantaged, but also anybody that they have a soup kitchen, so you can go in there any day of the week and get your lunch or your tea, no questions asked. And they also do incredible support with people that need help with housing or benefits advice. A lot of things about homelessness that people don't think about, like people that are homeless, they don't have access to a doctor, a dentist, so the Wellspring offers those. So just loads of incredible things. Really, really proud to be associated with them.
Because we are incredible people here at the Sportsman, we're going to donate £100 to Wellspring.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I said that like I'm doing it. It's not mine.
What, are you doing it as well, Simon?
Yeah. But if you want to get involved with that and donate, the link will be in the comments down below. So get donating because it's a brilliant cause.
Thank you.
On to less serious matters now, I guess. Sorry to link this.
From here to here.
In 2006, you were on one of the best TV programmes I've ever seen.
See, I can't remember this, but
Beauty and the Geek.
Are you not too young for this? How do you remember it?
Beauty and the Geek.
What a show that was. It's only comparable to Golden Balls, I think, for me, in my top 2 TV programmes.
Golden Balls is probably pips it, I'd say. That is a classic.
Jasper character all time.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's fine. Yeah.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
What was it like being on the show?
I can't believe you've brought this up. I swear no one's talked to me about this programme in like 10 years. But this is it. This is like, this is amazing. It was brilliant.
Is it on Netflix now?
I don't know, I doubt it.
It'll
It'll be on someone will dodgily taped it. But do you know what? I'm still really bitter about it. Like, it was 12 years ago and I still haven't got over it. I'm really bitter about it. So when we got to, it was like a game show, and one couple got thrown out every week. And on the week that we got thrown out, it went down to a dead heat between us and another couple, and there was 1 question each. I'm still bitter about it to this day. They got the question, what is the chemical symbol for water? Anybody?
H2O.
Thank you.
Not just pretty faces.
I got, what is the chemical symbol of salt?
NaCl.
Oh,
A-level chemistry. Boom.
Were you on the show?
Yeah. I was the beauty.
Well, I didn't get it right, and I'm still bitter about it, and I think it was a fix.
Outrageous.
Bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. Right. Martin, you're behind the camera. This is your time to shine. We wanted to put your skills to the test here, Natalie. So we have our self-confessed sportsman geek, the cleverest man in the office here, Martin. So come and get in shot here, Martin. Do you want to go to the front or back? Come to the back, come on. Right, so Natalie, do we have any fashion advice? Oh, no.
Joe's wrecking the set. That's why you're not the special guest, Joe.
There's an Irish coffee. In the middle?
Behind Natalie?
In between Joe and Natalie, right, cool. Right, so Natalie, do you have any fashion advice or anything you should do with his hair or beard or the glasses? And any advice how to woo a lady for mine?
Oh, Martin, do you need advice on how to woo a lady?
I don't perfection, to be honest.
I mean, if we are being uber critical, I mean, I'm not. Have you brushed your hair today, Martin?
Martin!
No, I think
My
though.
hairstyle is rolled out of bed.
I like it. No, I think you're doing well. Yes, I like the geek chic look. Yeah, I'm trying to be really nice now because at the end of this program, I'm just going to look like a drunken, bitter, mean person.
Right, so just a haircut, I think, and then that's about it.
Yeah, I like the glasses. I think they're very stylish.
I like the t-shirt.
Yes.
I think that's a good look.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fashion icon too, so I can say
What
these
does the
things.
t-shirt say?
Commodore 64, my first home computer.
Oh, there it is. Very.
I think there's a niche of woman that will be appealed by that t-shirt, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Okay, cool.
Taking that advice on board, Martin. Thanks a lot. He is the man who keeps the Sportsman running, so yeah, we've got a lot to thank him for. Right,
Cheers,
thanks,
Martin.
Natalie. Let's get to know Joe a bit better. You're in the spotlight now.
Do I have
Don't
a
worry.
special guest coming later?
We can do it again.
Bring
if you
Mike
want.
back.
So, of course, just tell us a bit about what you do at the moment for a job.
So XS Manchester is a radio station in town, which we have people like Clint Boone and Mike Joyce from Manchester Music Legends on the show. I know you love your music. And then from 6 till 7, we take over with football. So we have United and City shows dotted out throughout the week, and then just more generic chats like us gents will probably be having here about football. And Full-Time Devils do the Thursday show, and there's a special City show on the Tuesday. And then Natalie hosts a show on the Friday as well. And my show is Full-Time Devils with the gents there, big phone in. And then Wednesday show as well as My Little Baby as well. So we just sort of present that to you. Some comedians come in that are absolute top blokes, and we just have a bit of a laugh. And it's all good fun getting to talk about football for an hour.
I don't know if Alex Boardman's a top bloke. Like
He is a top
me and
bloke.
him have got beef at the minute.
Yes, the Derby Day beef.
Yeah.
But every show's then a podcast, and people listen to it from around the world, so it's good. And they always send in saying that they quite like the fact that they feel like they're in Manchester every time they listen to the show.
Do
So
get
it's
listening
good.
to XS
Yes,
Manchester
yeah,
because
do.
it
It's
is
a great
quality.
station.
Although sometimes, I think Harris, you were on there the other week, weren't you?
I was. They had to let us down this sit for 1 week, but I snuck on. But apart from that, it's good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's before you dyed your beard, wasn't it?
I can't help having a luscious and full beard. That's not my fault.
How did you get started on the radio?
Oh, so I just always loved listening to the radio when I was a kid, which was good. I don't really know why. It was just liked always bringing it around with me, listening to it, a little portable radio. And my dad used to listen to radio wherever we used to drive. So I always thought it'd be a pretty cool job to do that. And then I managed to get my way in with Clint Boone from the Spiral Carpets when he had the old station at XFM. So I knew someone who just got me in for a couple of weeks. Rest in peace, XFM. We're better now. And then from then on, I just worked with him. And then never sort of left his side after XFM sort of went. Couldn't shake me off. After XFM went, there was a period of time where we were just doing some of our own podcasts and stuff with Clint. But then XS came and asked, does Clint want a job? Do you want to do drive time again? And then sort of brought me along there. And since then, I've just tried to, done the football shows and just grown from there really, and met some lovely people along the way. I don't know why you pointed at Harris.
So who's kind of the biggest music act that you've ever met? 'Cause you must have met some pretty big names in your
A couple of weeks, Hooky is coming into XS Manchester, Peter Hook. Obviously, Bonehead from Oasis is an absolute beautiful man. He came in, and he just looked so cool, wandered through the door, just talked about his life and everything he's done as such a young lad standing on the stage at Nebworth when he was, 23, 24, and just hearing the stories from him. Damien Albarn, just talking to people who, for a living, do something that means so much to you, but they don't really, they're not even that bothered about it.
They get it all the time, I guess, don't they?
Yeah, Miles Kane came in not long ago, just talk about his new music. But when they come through the door, there's a sense of, look how cool this guy is. And everyone just dresses cool. But yet they don't look like, if you were to put them clothes on me, I'd look a right melt. They are like this, he had this, like, Miles Kane, this red leather jacket. And I thought, that's all right, that. But then if I ever wore a red leather jacket, if I was sat here now wearing a red leather jacket, it wouldn't go well for me. But yeah, I think that's what I'm jealous of. The big people that come into the office, they can literally pull off whatever clothes they want.
It's hats for me.
I want that.
Can't do
a good hat.
I've interviewed Noel and Liam separately.
Oh, well.
Name drop.
Sorry. Sorry about that, Joe. Sorry.
Did they have any red leather jackets on?
They didn't, but I was so nervous. I was like full on shaking before I interviewed them, and like I'm usually like fine, but I was like, oh my god.
Do you have an all-time favourite gig you've been to? I know Harris, I'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah, so I grew up in Stockport, and the Stone Roses got back together for Heaton Park in 2012. I just turned 18 the month of the gig, so I was on the 26th. I was at my 18th birthday. On the 28th was the gig actually, and we went to a pub in Wivenshaw. Got bladdered till about 5 p.m. It was a cracking day. Joe got on a minibus down. I remember getting to the gig and just all of it just being incredible from start to finish. So Stone Roses Heaton Park is my favourite gig.
Well.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you have to go
Harris,
to.
what's your favourite gig? Is it one where only you were there and it was a man playing a banjo? Or
Man playing his banjo. I'm not talking about that one. No, I have to say probably. I've been to Glastonbury a few times, as I mentioned quite a lot.
You didn't go last year though, or this year?
Well, it wasn't on last year. I have a ticket. Yeah, Radiohead set. The headline was right at the front. It was incredible.
You were
It was
front
amazing.
for Coldplay as well.
I was nowhere near
you
there
at the
for
front
Coldplay.
for Katy Perry
They
as
literally gave Coldplay literally gave people light up wristbands. It's probably the worst thing I've ever seen at Glastonbury ever. So screw you, Chris Martin. Yeah, carry on.
There's nothing wrong with Chris Martin. I'll defend him to the hilt. Right, Joe, let's talk a bit about how you came to support Man United and where did that start?
My family are split down the middle between Reds and Blues. Right, it's a big split. The first game I ever went to, and this is the truth, I don't mind saying it, was Main Road, and I watched City have a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough.
Hey.
The week after, my uncle took me to see United against Leeds, and United won 2-1. And I think it was from the moment that final whistle went, I realised that, you know what, actually, I'm going to support United, even if it did upset certain members of the family. But I've got two cousins, one a year older, one a year below me, called Patrick and Michael, and we were all three United fans, just grew up together, and from then just went games together, and that's how I'm a United fan.
And let's finish off this little chat with you, Joe. Did you meet Paul Scholes?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I met Paul
Tell
Scholes.
us about that.
I have a friend who worked on Full Time Devils. He's a lovely chap called Webby, and Webby was putting on this event with Paul Scholes. Webby said to me, it was a sit-down meal and all that. You get free courses and all that. But I said, I just want to listen to Scholes speak. I just want to get the Q&A. Not too bothered about the food. So he said, right, come at 9:30. We'll sneak you in the back. So I came at 9:30, snuck in the back, stood by the bar, and I was just content with sitting there. And I got a text off Webby saying, actually, we're running 15 minutes late, come sit with me. So as I walked past, and I sort of realised slowly as I was walking towards Webby, that his table was with Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes. And I just took a seat around there, I was like, everyone all right, good evening, yeah. And I just went, cheers everyone. And then Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs were there. And then I got dessert as well, which is even better, if not better than meeting Giggs and Scholes, because it was a lovely chocolate cake.
Harris, what would you do if you met Scholes?
I'd have to run out the room. It literally, he's my favourite ever player. I literally couldn't be in the same room. I'd fanboy too much. I'd have to leave.
But then, and then he went on and did a Q&A, which is one of the first Q&As he's done for a long time. And it was just cool hearing some of the stories he had to say. Yeah. A bit of a reserved man, but he's seen some things. He's seen some things, yeah. He's done some.
Well, when you're the greatest midfielder of the Premier League era, you're going to have lots of
Harris, whatever. Right, the niceties I think are over. We've done a bit of an introduction. Right. Let's get stuck into the Manchester derby now. Let's have a split down the middle. I'm going to kick off this little section with which team do you think's been the bigger club in the last 10 years? Manchester City or Manchester United? Now, I want this to be a civilised debate, so try not to shout over each other. Pete, let's start with you.
I'm going to go with United, just because I think over the last 10 years, I think it might be equal on league titles. I might be wrong, but you've won the Champions League as well. And they've won the Europa League.
Just in the last 10 years.
We're still taking it.
I think the next 10 years will be completely different. I think we'll all see that. But yeah, I can't argue it. It has to be United, unfortunately.
League 1 in 2 years.
You lot could be, yeah.
Harris, do you want to come up with that?
No, I think Pete put that quite well. I think City are still aspiring to even get into the same stratosphere as United, so they'll get there eventually, maybe. Who knows?
What stratosphere is that? Mid-table?
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, pretty much. Joe?
No, I think it's slowly ticking back. Don't forget we had Fergie all the way up to 2013, so he still owns that. But now, you can't be daft as a United fan and say City aren't just nibbling away at the sort of legacy that Fergie left. But you know, they need to do certain things to do that. It's just constantly winning in the Premier League like Fergie did, and he maybe a couple of European trophies in there as well. But you know, United aren't exactly disappearing. They aren't exactly in the background. They would, you know, certain things are happening that once the ship is steadied and the money keeps coming in for certain players, and maybe we buy more or we change certain roles in the certain roles in the club. You know, it's not like the next 10 years belongs to Manchester City. No. The next 10 years belongs to anyone.
A big thing for City for me is they have
it's not.
They have to win the Champions League for me. I think like that's what it's all led up to for them is they want to win the Champions League.
It's coming.
Natalie, what do you think on this?
I don't care, that's what I think. I think United fans live in the past, so when they want to talk about who's the biggest club in the last 10 years, because they can go, ooh, it was us.
We were asked. It was the question. We didn't bring it up.
And they want to talk about it because they can be like, 10 years ago
who's going to be the biggest club in the next 10 years?
Like, I don't care. Like we are the biggest club right now, and you can't even debate that. Like, unless you go, we got more money. Like. Whatever, we're the biggest club.
Financial fair play.
It's illegal. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right, if everyone can have a quick think, I'm going to go around and ask for your favourite one Manchester derby moment. Harris, you've definitely already got one, so I'll come to you first.
I mean, I've got a few, but I'd say the first one that came to my head, I know it's quite recent, was probably the Michael Owen winner. It was crazy, especially for it to be him being an ex-Liverpool player, and it was really hard to warm to him. And I think getting that winner, it was incredible. I think Bellamy had done Ferdinand, hadn't he, on the side of the pitch?
He scored twice.
And I literally remember watching that, like, what have you done? Like,
big up Craig.
And then I think Owen just shut everybody up.
Big up Craig Bellamy.
Get him on the show. Get him on the show.
Joe, what do you reckon?
Mine's kind of like that with the late minute winner. It was a Scholes header at the Etihad to make it. I think it was 1-0.
We didn't win the league though that year, did we?
That was still a great game.
There's been quite a lot of late Man United winners in these derbies. There was the Van Persie one, which I remember for the free kick, Scholes, and that Owen one, of course.
Yeah, so a lot of comebacks.
Natalie, I'm sure yours isn't one of them.
Mine is Vincent Kompany header in the year that we won the league, when we were still 8 points behind United at the time, and we scored at the end. His celebration, that's everything.
He lost it.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I've got, like, of the ones I've been to, it's hard to choose. I've got a choice of three, like two of the ones I've been to them once. So 4-1, Sean Wright-Phillips when he dips over Tim Howard. The one that probably stands out the most is the FA Cup semi-final when Toure just ran through. I remember I was about 10 rows behind the goal, and it was just a pandemonium.
Was that City's first trophy?
That was the semi-final.
I missed that goal. I was at Wembley. Me and my friend had gone down at half-time, and this guy stopped us and was trying to chat my friend up, and I was trying to get back to my seat, and I missed the goal.
No, obviously. I was about 12 then, so probably the 6-1 obviously stands out because that's just never.
When did that happen?
But yeah, no, I think for me the 1-0, like that was sort of felt like not a turning point, but it was that we're doing something now. So
let's move on to a bit of a bigger question. Joe, we'll start with you on this one. Do you think Man City will ever equal Man United's Premier League title record?
See, the thing is with that question is you assume that United aren't going to increase it. But, I mean, how many of these you got? Yeah, you're assuming that it's not going to happen.
I can't wait to get a banner
the thing with United when they knocked obviously Liverpool off the perch, then they had that they were just going to win it, and it was in Fergie's mind that was going to be the case. Fergie's goals were to make sure that United, when he left them and retired, were above Liverpool. If Pep's got the same goals, and I'm sure United will not go down without a fight. I don't believe that it's going to be as easy as it was for United to knock Liverpool off the perch. But you know, if it's in their interest to do it, then good luck to them. It's going to take a long, long time.
Ali, can we see this happening?
Again, I don't care. Again.
Would you not want to be like that? That would be definitive #1 club.
Yeah, I'm kind of just all about the now. Again, like United can say, oh, they're not as good as us because they haven't won 20 leagues. Like I'm just concentrating on now. And at the minute, you know, we are the best club, you know, in the country by a mile on levels from youth football, our stadium, our training ground, what we do in the community, women's football, what we do in the league, the players that we've got. We are just superior in every area. So, you know, maybe we'll never get 20 league titles, and you can always hold that above us. But
Harris, you're getting redder and redder.
In the corner again like that.
That's just the dye coming out of the beard.
No, I think both our special guests make excellent points. But I'd say, for me, I think people, particularly this season, have really gone for United and made us out like we're this club in crisis. And I really don't think that's the case. I think we're a lot closer to it than people make out. And I think, like you've said, I think with the right sort of additions, we're gonna still be challenging for league titles in the next 2-3 years. And I think that. I also think the Premier League now is more competitive than when.
Who's going to be challenging for the titles?
Just City.
Yeah,
Because
we're going to win it for the next 3-4 years.
I was going to say, like, I think when we won all those titles, when we caught up with Liverpool, I think Arsenal were mainly our biggest challengers. It was one team. I think now you've got 3 or 4 teams capable of winning the league, and
and you're not in that at the minute. You're not, because you can't.
Well, we'll see after the derby, won't we? We're going to be 6 points behind.
Are you putting yourself behind Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal? You know, are you actually saying that you are
experience we run for titles? You always got to think that there's going to be people behind you biting at your heels. To just think you're going to win it for the next 4 years.
We don't think that.
I just said he's going to win the next 4 years.
We will be competing in the next 3 to 4 years.
Listen, when we get the right additions, everything's going to be fine.
City are the benchmark right now, but I don't think they're as far ahead as they make out.
Pete, final word on that topic, and then we'll move on.
I think Guardiola's going to be here for a good few more years, and I think just the way that we're playing, and like Natalie said, we're just so far ahead of not just United, but I just think
could be 6 points.
If not winning November. It, we'll be first or second for the next 4 or 5 years, I think.
One word answer to this as well. Who do you think will be the challenge for the title if you're not winning it?
Chelsea.
This season?
I'm not asking you to.
This season.
You mean Chelsea? We played off the park at Stamford Bridge.
The next, I'd still go with Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, they're looking pretty good. Right, let's move on to our predictions game. Pete, I think you were right yet again this week.
I'm really bad at betting, but I seem to be really good at this. So I don't know what's going on
Liverpool
there.
did finish in a draw. Pretty good game, wasn't it, guys? Not bad, pretty entertaining. And this week for the Manchester Derby, we are back with a perfect 4. You have to predict the first scorer, the correct score, how many corners there'll be, and the first player carded. If you get all of them right on the Sportsman, you will win 500 readies.
That's a big amount of money.
Giving away more money, and also we are giving away £100 if there's a card shown in the Manchester Derby. So just opt in.
Just the one.
Just the one. It's definitely going to happen, isn't it?
Free
definitely
money.
A yellow card. So click the links in the descriptions if you want to get involved with that. Let's head around with our predictions for this. So we'll start with the first scorer, Harris.
I've got to go with Anthony Martial. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see what happens.
Joe?
I'm going to go with Victor Lindelof.
That would be beautiful. Off his knee or something. Off his knee in the last minute.
Victor Lindelof.
I might as well go with Edison if he's going for
That would be a bad shout.
Last minute winner for Edison.
Yeah.
He could probably reach from his goal, to be fair.
Pete?
I'm going to go with Sterling.
Nice.
He's on fire.
He is. He's shit out in a minute, so.
I think I'll just go with Aguero. I think he'll probably open the scoring. Yeah, pretty easy. I mean, there's no better chance at picking longer odds for this. So picking Lindelof, you can still win 500 quid even if you pick the favourites. Correct score. This is a big one here for the predictions table. Harris, let's go around again. You start.
2-1 Man United.
Okay.
I can say that with a straight face.
1-1.
I'll take 1-1. Can we have that now?
I'm going to go... I'm swaying between 3-0 and 3-1. I'm going to... Why is that even funny? Like, were you expecting me to say 6?
Yeah, but not again.
I'll go 3-1. I'll be slightly respectful.
You won't lose by that much.
It's obviously... Because United, obviously, last season, the second half, they turned up. And I do think they are going to turn up again. But I'm going to go 2-1 City.
2-1 City. I'm going to go for... I think this could be one of the best derbies we've seen in recent years.
Oh, hype it up.
What, 7-1
Hype
City?
it.
Yeah, I can feel it already.
Do you work for Sky Sports?
Yeah, I was going to say. Will it be a super
Derby
Sunday?
I'm going to say 3-2 to Man City.
You would say that, though, wouldn't you, Simon?
Why would I say
He's
that?
a Coventry fan. This is Simon who hates Man United. Let me put it
Literally
on.
supports the league.
The media agenda right there, sitting in front of me.
Right, okay. Next one is how many corners? Harris, is quick.
Cracking, love this one.
7.
8.
9.
Yeah,
12.
10. Brilliant. And first player carded, Harris.
Oh, Smalling.
Victor Lindelof.
Yeah. Caught out position.
Any United defender.
Yeah. Can happen.
Fernandinho.
I'll say
Yeah, tactical
Fernandinho
foul,
as
that's
well.
what it'll be.
You've
Be on the break,
you've
foul.
got the massive Altrincham fan in referees
Oh,
and
don't-
Anthony Taylor there, so I'm sure he'll be dishing them out early doors.
What do we make to that referee appointment then?
I think
Well,
it's
you
an
know,
impossible
There's
decision.
so much pressure on this
Yeah,
man now
poor
to
man.
make. If he gives anything to United, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be up in arms, getting absolutely.
Any 50-50
It's going to
decision.
be more
I
to
think-
City.
I
It's going
think
to
in
be
that respect-
Yeah,
new
it
things.
actually works against
Do you
us.
not
Yeah,
think
it does.
it's
It does work
daft?
against
Do you
us.
not think that it's daft that he is allowed to
Yeah,
referee?
he
If
shouldn't be put in that position.
You look when Leicester won the title, you had, I think it was Mike Dean or somebody who was living in Leicester wasn't allowed to referee Tottenham games. So why if Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe is allowed to?
I don't think that's
manage
even
the
kind of like him being biased. I think it's just
No,
like
no,
if he makes a controversial decision, like he's got to be in that area. He's going to get so much abuse, isn't he?
We think he's biased too.
You really gonna think
you're
it's like
throwing
that?
it back saying, well, now he's going to be biased
Yeah,
towards
exactly.
the cause, so
You
no
can't
one's
win.
happy, yeah.
You can't win. You can't win.
You're,
so.
you're all going to have something to moan about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week I'll be slagging him off.
Right now we are going to jump into our best ever Premier League Manchester combined 11. There's going to be a lot of debate on show here. Let's start with the goalkeeper. I think there's a couple of good contenders. Harris, state your claim.
This is really like a Sophie's choice for me, Schmeichel and De Gea. I think I'm actually going to say De Gea. I just think he is special. He's the Messi of keepers, as has been described.
He's been special this season, but in another way.
No,
Pete, come back to that.
He's no, right. I don't have an issue with Schmeichel because I think I was going to say Schmeichel because I do think that's fair. But to call David De Gea the Messi of keepers,
I stand by that. I stand by that.
Bear in mind, I genuinely think Lionel Messi is the greatest footballer of all time, and David De Gea is not the greatest goalkeeper of all time.
I think
He's the best in the world.
Yeah,
But he's
he
not,
has been
he's
for
not
a
the
few
Messi.
years now.
Do you retract your statement?
Well, we'll see. He's not He's only 28.
Right, Joe, do you think Schmeichel then?
Yeah, I was going to go Schmeichel. Let's just go
Yeah, let's have
Schmeichel
Schmeichel.
down the line.
He played for both teams, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's
There you
right.
go,
Compromise.
nice.
Compromise.
Yeah. That's the
Did do a
easiest
cartwheel
one.
when Sean Goater stuck a third in. He dinked it over Barthez. I remember that.
Oh.
In front of the United
Yeah,
fans.
Barthez doesn't get near.
Right back. A
Taibbi.
few candidates for this one. Pete, what do you reckon?
Oh, God, I mean,
G-Nev?
G-Nev, all the way.
it's hard because I hate the man. We've been so bad for so many years, which is the
Mika
problem.
Richards? I mean, what right backs have City?
Yeah, like Mika Richards had just some shockers, so I'm probably gonna have to. Zabaleta.
No way.
The goat.
Natalie.
I just cannot have Gary Neville. Please don't put Gary
Who's-
Neville in.
who's-
Like,
Mr. Reliable.
like, just don't
Who's
put Gary
going in
Neville
there to do Gary Neville?
Yeah, it's got to be Neville.
But Pablo Zabaleta is like the most
He's
passionate.
Zabaleta.
Oh, he's really
incredible-
passionate.
I'm passionate. I'm not getting
Gary
that
Neville
started
snod
on
balls
that.
goals for that alone.
Well, let's just do Kyle Walker then. Like,
Ah,
he's the best right. He's the best right back in the country at the minute. Was the best right back in the country last season. He's fast. He's strong. He's intelligent. Like.
Harris, one sentence to make your claim for Gary Neville.
I think you just have to look at his medals for a start, and he gave 7 out of 10 minimum every week. He even had the
7 out of 10.
Minimum.
So he's the
minimum.
James
Minimum. He was that, and I think he even had the good grace to say when he was shot and he left. He didn't try and stay on. He just said, "Look, I'm done," and he left. And you've got to give it to Neville. It's not even a debate. Why are we talking about this?
Gary Neville's in it right back. That is, I feel like a judge here. Right, centre-back positions. We've got two here. We're playing a 4-3-3 formation for those interested. So 2 centre-back positions. Joe,
I love Vidic with all my heart. He's got to be one of those centre backs.
Yeah.
was he better than Ferdinand?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
disagreement.
he was.
I think, but then again, I do rate Ferdinand very highly. Like you was saying that Terry's better, and I say that's bullshit.
City, what do we think?
It's got to be Vincent.
Got to be Vincent Kompany. He's got to be the captain as
Yeah.
well. But I'll give them Vidic. I like Vidic.
All right,
as a
Company
player.
and Vidic.
So-
That's a
Company and
nice
Vidic,
little
that's
bit.
So,
That's fair.
are we saying Company's better than Ferdinand?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I think
Is that done?
Wow.
I think
Wow.
Kompany's in for what he's done for Man City, a decade at the club, winning
I
their
think
first
Company
Premier
and
League
Vidic,
title.
that's fair.
Sorry, I think
Yeah.
Ferdinand was at Man United for a decade or longer as well, and he won quite a few titles.
He
He
was
looked
a
at
drug
Company at the
street,
end.
though, so-
No, he wasn't. He actually got something clear to that. Something clear to that.
Left
I think
back.
that's a sympathy pick, that.
I think left back's quite an easy one for me. I think it's just Alex Butner.
I saw him at an airport once. Yeah, leaving. He was literally like on his way out.
Go on, left back. Serious choices.
It's
who we got?
Irwin or ever again. It's like, you can't be
I
anyone
mean,
else.
Everett had some shocking. That
With the
first
derby,
game that he played,
yeah, I was
he
there
got
for that.
absolutely rinsed by Wright Phillips. So.
Dave, he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely
He settled
rinsed.
his
He did
inside
recover
and out.
after that.
Any Man
So
City
who
left backs
won?
you want to throw into the mix?
I mean, I always loved Alexander Kolarov, partly because he was hilarious off the pitch and made some excellent Christmas videos for City. So I think you should
Oh,
put
for the
him
entertainment
your-
value.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah,
run there.
yeah.
I think Irwin.
You don't have a City option, really.
Irwin,
So Evra or Irwin, I'll let the
Irwin.
Man United.
I'd go with, if
Irwin.
it's between them,
Irwin.
I'd say Irwin, just because.
We'll put Irwin at left back then.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Right, we've got 3 midfielders. Let's go for
You need to be
central
more vocal,
midfielders here. Harris, do you want to do 5 seconds on Paul Scholes and then I'll ignore you?
Paul Scholes is going in that team. He's the best player in the whole team.
Right, what is this
The
for
only,
the
reason,
centre
the
mid?
only reason he's best player in the team is because we haven't put Kevin De Bruyne in the team.
Oh,
Or David Silva in the
I
team.
tell you what we'll do.
Right, I'm off.
I'll tell you how we'll do this. We'll go around. You can each give 3 picks that you think will be in, and then I'll ignore them all and decide.
Okay.
Pete, you start. Three midfielders.
I'm going centre mids. I'll go with David Silva. I'd take. Oh, no, I wouldn't take Roy Keane. He's a. I hate him so much.
He's a bit
I've
massive.
met him in real life as well. He's a horrible.
Did he hurt you?
Genuinely, he's an awful man in real life. So, I'll probably put Scholes in there. Just
thanks,
yeah, I
Pete.
would. He was all right on his day. And then Silva, and then oh god, you've got the likes of like Paul Boswell or Ali Benarbia. Ali Benabia's going in that team.
Jemba deserves a
But
place
did
more
he-
than him.
I'll put Benarbia.
Benarbia.
Yeah, we on Premier League.
What about Elano?
Well, no, Lado.
I loved it.
He was only
Ali
good.
Benarbia, I interviewed him at City Square, name drop, name drop. He's one of the nicest men I've ever interviewed, one of my favourite interviews ever. What a man.
Would you like to give your 3 midfielders for this selection, Natalie?
I'll give you Fernandinho, who is absolutely and hugely underrated and is the absolute backbone of our team.
All City fans talk about how underrated he is. Surely if
He
you
is.
all rate him,
He's
then
very good
rated.
at that. He's very good at finding
Everyone
people
goes,
on
oh,
the
he's
break.
underrated, he's underrated. Surely if you all rate him, then he's not
Underrated
underrated.
outside of City
right,
fans.
okay.
Average.
Is that okay?
Yep.
And then I'm going to give you David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Come on,
Okay,
like,
that's fair.
it's a competition.
Right, Man United fans. Joe,
Do you know what
take
I
it
was
away.
going to say Keane, Scholes and Torre.
Yeah, Torre, good.
I didn't even think
I
about
was going Keane, Scholes, and Silva.
You know,
I'll
I
put
didn't think
Silva
about
in.
Torre either.
I'm going to replace Benarbia with Torre.
Get.
So
Harris, here we go.
Keane, Scholes, and Silva.
Right.
Can you take someone seriously? You have to put Kevin De Bruyne in the team. Come on.
No, I'm using him as my attacking flair.
This is really, really difficult. There's a lot of good players. I think I'll put Scholes in there. I think that's fair. I think I'll also for longevity.
Longevity.
That's the one. I'll put David Silva in there. I think
Yes,
he's excellent.
Bowler,
Which
Merlin.
means the final one.
Keane or Torre.
Keane or Torre.
I mean,
Oh.
that's not a debate. That's madness. Absolutely madness.
Just because he's only done it in the Premier League for the last couple of years.
Just because he's only the best player in the Premier League for the last 2 years. He doesn't
I
get
mean, Eden Hazard would have something to say about that.
Oh, yeah, he didn't score for a year, did he?
there's no team that doesn't have Kevin
Shut
De
you
Bruyne in.
Let's go Roy Keane.
Yeah, he made the sensible decision.
He made the
Like,
worst.
what is this? This is already a boring defensive Man United team.
No,
It's like,
it's
you've got
not.
no attacking
Scholes,
flair, like,
Silva, and
come on.
Keane. That's lovely.
Right, well, let's get on to the attacking. Let's make it not boring. Let's make it exciting. 3 attackers. You can pick 3 strikers if you want. I don't really care. Harris.
You've got Ronaldo and Giggs. And then you've got to put Cantona, Rooney, or Van Nistelrooy in there.
I think
No, Harris, who are you
partial.
picking? You've got to pick 3 names.
Okay, Ronaldo, Giggs, Cantona.
Manchester United's top ever goal scorer and England's top ever goal
Yeah,
scorer.
but I
Wayne
don't think
Rooney.
I'd go Aguero, and I'd go Ronaldo, and then I'm stuck on my third one.
I'm thinking the same at the minute.
Aguero,
You can't
Ronaldo,
discount
what's
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo for Man United over Giggs for Man United. Giggs,
Giggs has to be in
won
that
how
team.
many Premier
Giggs
League
has to be in that
trophies?
team.
Ronaldo for Man United was great.
Do you know who else
But
has won a lot of trophies? Maxwell.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So what?
I'd still make the
Thanks.
argument.
What,
I'd
like-
make the argument that Rooney in his prime was better than Aguero in his prime, just. And I'd still say that Rooney wouldn't get in for me ahead of Cantona or Van Nistelrooy as a pure striker.
Okay, Natalie.
You're making the argument that Rooney's better than Aguero.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you...
100 million%.
Can I have 3 names, Natalie?
Aguero, one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time, with the best.
not quite as good as some of the
Well,
others.
he's got the best Premier League goals ratio above anybody, and by the time he finishes his career, he'll be so much for. If he's like 8th in the minute of all-time Premier League scorers, he'll be higher than that. Aguero, put him in your team. I'll give them one if you want.
That's the best
Give
argument
us
we've
Ronaldo.
had.
Giggs
has to be in that team.
Aguero is in the team, right? Pete,
Thank
keep
you.
going.
I'm going to go Ronaldo, obviously, because he won the Ballon d'Or there. You can't discount what he did there. Curveball, Carlos Tevez. Carlos Tevez. Best note, like the greatest.
For you.
That Russell that he did of Gary Neville in the League Cup semi-final, where he gave him all that off. Get Carlos.
He literally went on holiday to play golf for 6 months.
Yeah, and he came back and won us the league. Great times. Great times.
Right. I'm sorry,
Giggs,
I can't
Ronaldo.
have Carlos Tevez in this team. I think Giggs has to be in there just for his,
course he
his
does.
incredible service.
For his family shagging abilities.
So it's Kevin De
Ryan Giggs
Bruyne
goes
or,
Aguero.
or Cristiano Ronaldo
What?
or Cantona or
It's got to be
Van
Ronaldo.
Nistelrooy.
It's got to be Ronaldo.
I can't believe that we're leaving Cantona
Right,
and Rooney
Van
out.
Nistelrooy.
I'll let you Man United fans decide between Cantona, Rooney or Ronaldo.
What? So who will be having in that front three?
Giggs, Aguero and one of them.
I think Ronaldo.
Well, Ronaldo has to be in it, but Aguero being in there instead of Rooney or Cantona is farcical.
Right, Ronaldo it is. So there's our front three. So we've got. Well, we'll get a
Another
clap.
clap, another
Let's do
We
that.
sort of had some agreement at times. Yeah.
We crashed that one
Oh,
out,
I'm
didn't
not
we?
peaceful here.
I mean, that wasn't a bad team at all. Let us know if we missed anyone out there in the combined 11. Not bad at all. Let's finish with our perfect 10. Right, guys, special guests, you are on the spot again. You can win 10 grand at home by clicking the link and playing the perfect 10. I'm going to run through 10 fixtures taking place in England this weekend. You just have to give me who you think will win or if it will be a draw. So the first fixture is Southampton v Watford. Natalie?
Watford.
Watford.
Producer Charlie's a Watford fan, so he's happy with that one. Newcastle v Bournemouth.
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 Agreement so far. Nottingham Forest v Stoke in the Championship, Natalie?
Draw.
Stoke.
QPR v Brentford in a London derby. Joe, you go first on this.
I'll go Brentford.
I'll go QPR.
Nice. Reading v Ipswich.
I'm going to go. Draw.
Reading.
West Brom v Leeds in what was a huge game.
It's a big
Joe.
game.
I think Leeds are going to win it.
I'm going to go West Brom.
Bolton v Swansea in is a less huge game, Natalie.
I'm going to go Bolton. Stick with the Northwest. Bolton.
Yeah, I'll go Bolton as well.
Oh, Team Bolton. This is two places you don't want to visit on a dark night. Crewe v Carlisle, Joe.
Crew.
Crew.
Exeter v Blackpool.
I'll go. I think everyone dislikes Blackpool, don't they? Poor fans. Sorry, apart from the fans. Exeter. Yeah. No, I mean the fans dislike Blackpool. We don't. I mean we don't dislike the fans.
Joe.
I'm going to go draw.
Draw, keep it on the fence. And finally, Scunthorpe v Burton. Joe.
Draw.
Burton.
Right, we'll see how you do. That was good, that was good.
Do I get £10,000 if I get them all?
If you play online, then yeah, sure, of course you do. So have a go at that perfect 10 in the comments below. Okay, that was the perfect 10 for this week. Remember, you can play it in the comments down below and win £10,000. But that was it for our Manchester Derby special, except we've got to give away that Man City and Man United shirt. So comment down below. If you commented Chris Smalling, he was the last scorer in the city. You didn't want to say it. Was that a painful moment, Pete?
It was, yeah. No. It was such an awful afternoon.
Chris Smalling, of course, was the last scorer in the Manchester Derby. We will be giving away both of those shirts in the near future. But that's it for our Manchester special, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me, guys.